Here I have a bowl which weighs 200 grams. I pour water into it. Now it weighs 600 grams. How much water does it contain? For this kind of problems, we need to understand the principle of the whole and its parts. We have two parts, the bowl and the water. Together they form a whole, a bowl with water. We know the weight of the whole, 600 grams. And we know the weight of one part. The bowl alone weighs 200 grams. How do we find the other part? With this drawing, it should be fairly clear. From the whole, we take away one part, and the other part remains. In practice, we cannot do this here, because the water alone would spill onto the floor, but we can do it mathematically. So we know that the water weighs 400 grams. In a previous video, we illustrated this principle with this toy house. We can explain it to the children in the same way. We can also use Cuisenaire rods. We can say, this is the house with its roof. The house alone is a rod of 7 and the roof is 5. So the whole house is the sum of its parts. 7 plus 5 are 12. When I have the whole house and I want to know one part, I have to take away the other part. We can practice this with symbols like this. In a more abstract way, we can practice this principle with this kind of operations. In each situation, we have to think first, which one is the whole and what are its parts? For example, in this situation, which one is the whole? The 46 or the 27 or the missing number? The symbols of the house can help us here. This makes sense. On the other hand, this doesn't. We can find more problems of this kind in situations of our everyday life. For example, here we have 16 fruits, peaches and oranges. There are 3 oranges. So how many peaches are here? Well, here it is quite obvious that the whole bowl of fruits is the whole. The oranges are one part, and the peaches are the other part. In other situations, this may be less obvious. We come back from shopping and have 25 soles or dollars left in our purse. We bought food for $35. So how much money did we have before we went shopping? Let's see, what is the whole? This money in the purse? Then the money we spent would be a part of this, and it would also be here in the purse. But this cannot be, because that money is now at the grocery store. Is the whole the $35 we spent? This cannot be either, because if we had spent the whole, we would have spent everything, including this $25. So the whole must be what we had initially. One part of that we spent at the grocery store, and the other part is here in our purse. So we calculate the whole by adding the two parts. Before we went shopping, we had $60. Find more problems like these in your daily life. Make first these practical experiences. Only then go to the written problems such as on the worksheet. When you solve these word problems, you will find that often a simple drawing is helpful, such as the one we used here. This makes it easier to imagine the situation, and then you know whether to add or to subtract.